folks, day 10 of our ongoing 31 Days of Horror Halloween, and we finally made it to the 1970s. We're kicking things off, and this is probably my favorite era ever for the horror film. There's just so much stuff. It's so versatile. I mean, it's just such an idiosyncratic time. You finally got over the Hays Code, so you're just going full out. I mean, there's just so much diversity. It's just a great time. And when I look at horror films from this era, and this one, you know, it's a little bit off the beaten path, but it's for a reason. It's one of the better ones. It's a film which I think represents sort of the underlying social thematics of a horror film. Because horror films are not just about, you know, getting the G Willikers scared out of you. It's about addressing fears that we have in the culture around us. And this film is obviously a product of, you know, Rachel Carson's Silent Spring. And it's really one of the better ecological horror films released in the 70s. It's a film called Frogs from 1972. Now, I know what you're thinking. You know, there's a lot of killer animal movies out there. Some of them make sense. You know, Jaws, I can understand that. Cujo, that definitely makes sense. Frogs, that one's a hard sell, I admit. But the way it's kind of played out, you know, it's actually very, very entertaining and well done. And it's certainly one of the better, you know, Nature Strikes Back films to come out, you know, probably ever. You know, it's not the best genre or subgenre in the world to kind of dissect, but it's a good one. So as far as the plot, first off, it stars Sam Elliot without the mustache. Because this is the first time I've ever seen Sam Elliot in a movie where he didn't have, you know, that trademark, you know, whisker biscuit on top of him. And, I don't know, he looks so weird. It's like looking at Burt Reynolds without a mustache. I mean, you can tell it's him, but it just feels wrong. It's like someone went in there with, like, you know, MS paintbrush and kind of got it out. It's hard to interpret. So much cognitive dissonance going on about that. And on top of that, as far as the general structure, Sam Elliott, he plays like this guy who is like a nature photographer, and he's, you know, out there doing some underwater imagery of this lake out in the bayou, and it's really polluted. You know, the algae are dying, and you know, all these animals are, you know, poisoned, and it's because there's like this really rich, you know, aristocratic southern dude who lives on a plantation, like deep in the jungles of Louisiana, and he owns like a paper mill company, and they're polluting everything. And he's got all his family down there for like his birthday, or actually no, it's not his birthday, it's actually for 4th of July. Yeah, they're all there for a big 4th of July get together, and you know, it's your really out there cast of 1970s people. You got your kids, and you got your motherly old racist people. You got your young dude who's married to a black chick. I mean, it's really a great sort of microcosm of what early 1970s culture was about. So they all get together at this little shindig, and of course, as the name would imply, apparently all of the amphibious creatures, all the cold-blooded reptiles in the area, have decided to unite and get revenge against this company, specifically the you know, the owner of the company and his family, for destroying their environment. And there's some really great stuff in here. I mean, I'm one of those guys where I'm not really like a snakeophobe, but, you know, I don't really like, you know, seeing guys, like, you know, get attacked and bitten, because I know it looks painful and it's got to be a terrible way to go out. So if you're a herpetologist, no wait, if you are a herpetologist, that means you study snakes. If you have herpetophobia, or whatever it's called, probably not the best movie to watch. So of course you got people getting killed by snakes. You got people being killed by alligators. There's a great scene where a dude gets caught, and it's so authentic because it actually does the death roll when they capture him, so it's pretty entertaining. But for me, the big thing is just like how weird it gets, because it's not just like snakes and alligators attacking people. It's also like turtles and the titular frogs. I mean, what can the frogs do? I mean, it's kind of out there. It's hard to swallow. But they kind of explain it, but it actually makes it worse with their explanation, because apparently, like, the chemicals have actually made the reptiles like super intelligent to the point where they can do things like you know, coordinate planned attacks. And there's actually like one scene where they actually have like some geckos that go into a greenhouse, and apparently through some sort of like weird unexplained mechanism, they've like learned the fundamentals of chemistry, because they know exactly which chemicals to push down to create like a hydrochloric gas cloud to kill one of the characters. So yeah, I don't really think there needs to be an explanation for that, but it's there. Somehow that's going on. Apparently if you inject frogs with chemicals, they become, you know, engineers. But yeah, overall, it's just a really entertaining movie. I mean, the pacing is really great. The scenery is terrific. Lots of great on-location filming. The death scenes are really good. Like, there's one that just goes on forever. We have like this woman's being tortured. Like, you know, she gets like chased by a lizard, and alligators after her, and there's like a snake after her, and she gets dropped in like a lake and swims halfway across it and dies anyway. I mean, it's just really like well planned. It's going to give you the heebie-jeebies. So this is one of those movies where, like, more than anything, it just makes you feel, ugh, you know, because there's so much creepy crawly stuff going on. It's all slimy, and, you know, I don't like being dirty in general. So people like running out in the swamp and just getting muck on them. You know, it's one of my things that I'm really against. But yeah, all that to say, it comes out to be a really entertaining movie. It's very well done. The ecological message is there, but it's not forced down your throat like a Captain Planet episode. Sam Elliot does a pretty good acting job. The pacing is great. So all in all, this is actually a pretty entertaining little movie in its own right. It's one of the better B movies from the era, and it's certainly worlds better than something like, you know, The Prophecy, you know, that 1979 movie where, you know, the bears attack everybody, or Food of the Gods, you know, where, you know, the bees get really big. Lots of bad ecological horror films from the era, but this is one of the better ones. So I'm going to give this one 3 pieces of candy corn out of 4. Very entertaining, a great way to begin our tour of the 1970s. And from here, we head onward. We've got more stuff coming up, including some very, very underappreciated exploitation horror.